So, what if I told you that the very same psychology that gets you to click buy now on a pair of sneakers could also save a life? I know it sounds pretty out there, right? But today we're going to explore this really surprising and honestly powerful connection between the calculated world of online marketing and our most basic human need to be heard in a crisis. Okay, so to really get why this matters so much, we have to start with a kind of hard truth. We are living through a global loneliness epidemic. It's this quiet crisis that's completely reshaping how and even if we connect with each other anymore. I want you to just take a look at this number 220 million. Just let that sink in for a second. What on earth could that possibly represent? It's not a country's population, it's not some corporate budget. No, it's a measure of something way, way more personal. That's the number of times people have downloaded an AI companion, an artificial friend. And as trauma therapist Dr. Janie Lacey puts it, this isn't just some cool tech trend. It is a massive, collective cry for connection in a world where finding the real thing can feel almost impossible. You know, this deep feeling of isolation, it doesn't just pop up out of thin air. Dr. Lacey explains it's often rooted in old trauma and fractured trust, creating a world where, honestly, it feels safer to confide in an algorithm than to risk getting hurt by another person all over again. And that broken trust, it doesn't always come from our personal lives. Sometimes the deepest wounds come from the very institutions we're taught to rely on for safety and support. And that's where this whole problem gets even more complicated. There's actually a term for this. It's called institutional betrayal. You know, think of a university that totally mishandles a student's safety report, or maybe an employer that just fails to protect an employee from harassment. It's way more than just a simple mistake. It's a really profound violation of the trust we put in these pillars of our society. Psychologically, this kind of betrayal creates this really dizzying feeling called cognitive dissonance. It's just mental chaos. It erupts when the people who are supposed to help you are actually the ones causing the harm. And it's so disorienting, it can literally make you start to question your own reality. And this is often made so much worse by institutional gaslighting. You'll see it in the language they use. Like they'll dismiss your very real concerns as just a personality clash, or they'll praise you for your courage while quietly doing absolutely nothing. These tactics aren't accidents. They're designed to make you doubt yourself, not the system. So, when our trust in people and in these big institutions is just shattered and we feel totally alone, what happens then? Well, we don't just give up. We look for help. But in our super connected world, that search for help starts in a very, very specific place. It's really the critical question, isn't it? When all the traditional doors seem closed, where is the first place we turn for an answer, for a resource, for just a little glimmer of hope? They turn right here, to the quiet, private solitude of a search bar. In that little white box, they type out their fears, their needs, their hopes. Phrases like, anxiety counseling services. Just searching for a lifeline in this huge digital ocean. It's a private, but incredibly powerful first step. And this, right here, is where our two worlds collide. The bridge connecting that desperate search to a real solution is this tiny but masterfully designed piece of digital architecture, the call to action. So a call to action, or a CTA, is really just the instruction that moves you from passively browsing to actively doing something. It's the sign up, the download now, the get started. It's that exact moment of decision, all boiled down into a single click or tap. And here it is. This is the heart of the whole story. On the left, a super casual CTA. Get yours. What are the stakes? I don't know. Maybe you buy a new water bottle. On the right, a CTA from the crisis text line. Text home. The stakes are everything. And yet, just look at them. The core mechanics, the psychology of the invitation, they are identical. The reason they both work is because they follow the exact same fundamental rules. Both of them are totally impossible to miss. They both give a crystal clear instruction, no guesswork needed at all. And, crucially, they both present a single, focused ask. In a moment of indecision or a moment of crisis, this clarity is absolutely everything. And marketers have basically turned this into an art form. I mean, a surf rental company doesn't just say, rent now. They say, free the funk. It's playful, it's memorable, and it speaks directly to their audience in a language they totally get. Or how about this one? An SEO firm just skips contact us and goes straight for be awesome. See, it's not just a button, it's an invitation to become a better version of yourself. It transforms a simple action into an identity. But let's bring it back to this. Text HOME to 741-741. This is the perfect ask in its purest, most vital form. It's simple, direct, immediate. When someone is completely overwhelmed and they can't even think straight, this kind of clarity isn't just good design, it's a lifeline. So, when we kind of zoom out and look at the big picture, it becomes really clear that these small digital prompts, these calls to action, are more than just tools for commerce. They are fundamental tools for human connection with a potential far, far beyond what they were ever designed for. And that right there is the incredible, hopeful takeaway from all of this. The very same design principles honed over decades to perfect the art of selling things are now being used for something profoundly human, to connect a person in their darkest moment with the help they desperately need. So I guess it leaves all of us with one final and I think crucial question to think about. In a digital world that's obsessed with engagement, metrics, and conversions, what is the most important, the most meaningful action we can possibly call for?